We meet again, and we've got another recall to talk about. So Jeep published a new recall, safety advanced communication on 9/28. Most dealers are getting this today. It's just starting to hit the internet. So if you've got a 4xe, you're wondering, oh, now what? So let's talk about what we know. Let's talk about what's going on. There's two recalls. There's a 96B and a 95B. Basically, the 96B is specific to high voltage battery part numbers. If a dealership has these high voltage batteries on their shelf, they're basically told not to sell them. And if these fall under the safety recall, that basically Stellantis is going to swap them out for different high voltage batteries. So what is the issue that we're dealing with? It's another fire hazard issue. There's been 5% of vehicles that have caught fire. It's actually quite a high number in comparison to the B9A recall, which we've talked about in the past. This is for 22 to 24 models of the WL, which is the Grand Cherokee 4xe. And this is the 2020 to 2024 model JL Wrangler, obviously 4xEs. Some of the above vehicles may have been built with a battery pack which contains cells which are susceptible to separator damage. Separator damage combined with other complex interactions with the cells may lead to a vehicle fire. So maybe there are certain cells that aren't isolated properly. If they overheat, they can ignite the battery. I'm not 100% sure. The wording on these is always a little bit vague until it actually comes out. Obviously, they are saying on this one that the vehicle risk of a fire is greatly reduced if the battery is not charged. So they are encouraging, again, to not charge your battery and park your vehicle away from your home or structure or something that obviously, I guess, could burn, right? So needless to say, FCA will conduct a voluntary safety recall on all affected vehicles. Right now, here's the remedy. The remedy is a software flash followed by a high voltage battery replacement if needed. So, and again, this isn't due out until estimated launch time is fourth quarter of 2024, which is kind of right around the corner, guys. So everyone's kind of freak out, but you know they're going to be on top of this as soon as possible. Guys, make sure you've got a dealership out there that is 4xe educated. So many of these dealerships are not in line with all the new technology. We saw in the past them doing the B9A recalls. They were doing them wrong or kicking jobs out of there in like 2 hours when the recall is supposed to take 2 sleep cycles of 8 hours. And so make sure that if you've got a 4xe, you've got a dealership that is ready to handle you. We always recommend Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Fox Lake. They've been great to us. They're always on top of the recalls. Speaking of recalls, I'll say it again. I say it all the time. Feels like the 4xEs had the fair share of them. They're certainly under the microscope right now. But, you know, Ford just announced a huge recall. I mean, no car manufacturer is immune from recalls. And, you know, some might say, well, they don't all cause fires. I mean, there's plenty of gas engine vehicles, ICE engines, you know, ICE vehicles that have had recalls that cause fires too. So this does not only happen on hybrid or battery powered vehicles. Keep that in mind. One question I pose is, if you had the B9A recall and you had the battery replaced because it was faulty, I'm wondering, does your work order give a part number of the battery that was put in your vehicle at the time? Because if it does, and I'm going to post these, the 2 part numbers here are the part numbers in question that are having this issue. So if you had your B9A recall done, does it show you the part number you got on your work order from the dealership? And if so, I'm wondering, you know, can you instantly tell that you might fall under this recall? You'll always want to check the National Highway Traffic Association. They've got the website out there. You can key in your vehicle to make sure that you do or don't fall under this recall. Now keep in mind, this just got kicked out today. So even if your vehicle does land under that recall, it may take a few weeks before those VINs populate into these systems. So if you check it now and it shows you're clear, it doesn't always mean that you are. You're going to definitely want to stay tuned. Obviously, if you're the first owner of your vehicle, FCA is going to send you a notice saying your vehicle is part of this recall. I'm curious, are you frustrated with these? Personally, obviously, I'm on my second 4xe. Mine would fall under the model year, well, all of them at this point, as far as Wranglers fall under them. You're gonna stop charging? Are you just gonna charge away? It clearly says in here, don't charge it and park away from your home. I'm curious what you guys are gonna do. It is kind of frustrating when these things come up and we know we're getting awesome fuel economy, and now when we don't charge, that stings a little for those who bought the vehicle for that increased mile per gallon. So as always, we will keep you up to date. As we know, we've got a great relationship with Ray over there and their team. Fully aware of what's going on as the updates come. Please like and subscribe. We'll keep you posted on what the next step is for this recall. But right now, that's what we know. There's basically 2 recalls. One is for the Wrangler and the Grand Cherokee, and one is for basically if you have these parts sitting at your parts counter. Now, it obviously says here, don't sell the batteries at your parts counter. The wording here doesn't necessarily say there's a stop sale on the vehicles that might have this recall. That may come, or maybe the verbiage is just not here. So I'm curious to see if there's a stop sale in these 4xEs. That's what we know right now. Not a ton of information, but be vigilant. Pay attention to your Jeep, and I guess we'll keep you posted with what happens next. As always, like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.